ever felt as I record this video, I'm 24 hours away, 180, and I'm not going to speak in terms of what I believe got me here to this point until the moment is confirmed. It's like it's because I'm not going to speak on these things. It's just more of a rant video. I need to get stress out of my head. I don't know. It's like it's just that one special moment, and I know that it can change my life. Because the way I like to describe what I'm feeling right now is those jitters. This for me is the equivalent to kind of like playing in a World Cup final where like all the pressure's on you, you kind of want to win it. That's how I feel right now. For the past 3, 4 days, I've had shit sleep. I've needed to talk to certain people, but very close friends. I'll be honest, I have not told them about this because I don't know. This is my fight. This is what I've put myself in so much discomfort for 2.5 years, but only recently for the past 10 months, channeling all my efforts into one specific thing with the acquisition of mentorships and also with self knowledge and also acquiring other skills to get into other companies via copywriting and other methods of writing so that I acquire their knowledge in the exchange. So I always try and find which transactions value or have value in the current stage I am, because life is also phases. So during a certain phase, what is the value trying to get, and who or where and what has it the best? We'll move along from there. And the context of why I feel so stressed is with the Aquapella for the past 10 months. I'm getting to the point where I may be able to get a grant for this. I'll tell you how much research if I know my answer by tomorrow. But this grant will allow me to be free. It's gonna surprise me a lot because I don't know, like the circumstances have been aligned to my favor. I'm not going to boast that, oh yeah, I know this, you don't. I just got lucky, good parents, good manners, good strict rules. As much as they although these rules, I will be honest, they do make you sometimes feel a little bit, what is it, they make you the odd one out. You do get a little bit lonely, but lonely as in not as in people you don't meet people. It's just that it's harder for people to understand in terms of a certain capacity. This is gone by, it's not too bad or something, but that's just the thing that has always bothered me is there are certain pieces to life that most people will never go through. And maybe it's because I believe that people should have these values. That is also something that I've kind of been aware of, that I need to make sure that this is actually true. That one of the things I feel like should be improved or eliminated from my current mental code and system is that I believe that many people should have the same values that I do. But now that I think of it, not a lot of people have similar experiences to mine. And, the more, I guess, the more experience that are stacked up with a certain amount of age, it does make you feel like a little bit of an oddball. So you go find other people, and they're most likely older, who can relate to it. Because I'm just thinking about a few weeks ago, I cried in my mentor's home, and it was worth it because it's allowed me to redirect myself. And what I thought was going to take me so much longer took me just 3 weeks, and now this is That's where I am now, to the point where who knows, I might be free. Might be free, not forever, but I only need one shot. Life only gave me one shot from. And that's what gets me a bit worried. Is it's just knowing, it's just not sure of where life is going to take me, and where am I going to go? All these experiences that have been now stacked upon me, they're stories. Some stories I consider them to be tragedy. Some of them are funny. Some of them are resurrection. There are 7 types of stories from what I remember. Most of them come from just overall struggle and pain and sacrifice. And there are some friends who I haven't talked to, and I told myself, you will not talk to them until you complete the 4th resurrection. That's the reason why. And I'm not going to say that in the next 24 hours if they tell me on the call, and if I get my resurrection, you'll get a message from me, and or an audio message. I'm sorry that I didn't respond to you for so long, but it was my duty. It's not a privilege, like coming from a place where you make what, 12, 20 US bucks a day. This is converting from pesos to dollars. When you make not that much, and then you come here where the foundation is a little bit more stronger, I just don't understand why people think it's something blessed to be here. And and I'm not gonna lie, I did believe that too. So this is kind of ironic, but why do you guys people call it a privilege? It's your duty. It's not a privilege to be here. If you treat it as a privilege, you don't get the full juice out of it. It's like saying, oh, it's a privilege to be at MIT. And I don't know, let's say you're from Bangladesh or somewhere. Bro, it's not a privilege. It's your duty to kick some ass over there. Learn how to, I don't know, be like a beta level Einstein, and figure out how to improve, I don't know, whatever matters to you personally. For me, it matters for my roots, my heritage, but also a future of materials. And I submit to that because it's my. I like to believe that purpose is kind of similar to duty. I don't know, because people make some like over sense of massive bullshit on what is purpose. I just like to think of it as, what's your duty? Or the question, why am I here? Because it's weird, because I know in 10,000 years this video won't matter because I'm dead and no one knows who I am. Chill. I'm chill with that. I don't know, maybe it's because I have faced death before, whether subconsciously or not. So for me, it's like, eh. But I know for most of you have never even faced something close to death. So just knowing that, like, just accepting that, yes, one day just gonna be ashes, stardust, star ash, and that's okay. You're still technically a piece of this world, even though if you're just dust in, like, who knows, in the universe. Those are still useful to some extent. you're not entirely forgotten. You're just not gonna, have a pair of eyes and a nose and can talk shit confidently or say it like the way I do it, which is not very good at all, but documenting the process. Because I know when I get big, people will look back on these videos and be like, what the fuck? He's a genius. He's a smartass. He showed us what, I don't know, a high school kid's supposed to think about this. And the reason why I say when I get big, not if. I think it also is because I know that I have insecurity of not doing enough, being enough. Because it's not every day you get somebody who, one, survived heart surgery, two, comes from a rural place, grows up in it, still sticks to its roots, three, gets lucky to grow up in good standards of living, four, is completely bored out of his mind that he figures out what he wants in life instead of being distracted by either friends, activities, and such. It's good. It's good. I'm not saying that you should be completely bored and like talk to anyone, but I can't control, I don't know, my dad's body. Just me. So I think that has helped a lot. And six, probably persistence. I think that's the biggest trait I would say has probably gotten me to just this point. I'm not talking about the grant, just like in general, persistence. You fail once or twice. I know a lot of people just throw in a towel and say, you know what, I don't like this because I'm shit. They don't even try because people still see it as a privilege, not a duty. So I know this is. I don't know. I know only like one or two are actually gonna watch the whole thing. Is you're, I don't know, you care about me, or B, because you're bored. And notice how it doesn't include attention span, because I don't know, you guys have terrible attention spans. So it's also my duty for me to be financially free, whether it involves a grant or not. And that's why I told myself I'm going to join the real world and learn about these things, because no one wants me to be financially free except me. That's given. So that now that you know that, it's like, okay, A, wait, we'll learn it, and three, who? Because I have no talent in business and money and knowledge. Like, I have no talent in marriage. I just kind of tell myself, okay, who should I learn from? Who has absolute authority on this, that if they were to just tell me something, I would take it as fact? It's said, I don't know, don't invest in S&P. I don't know. I would say, okay, not question. Why? Because he's Warren fucking Buffett. But if I don't know, what a college teacher said, don't invest, I just look at her like, I mean, she ain't a billionaire. So I think it's also just the other thing with frames, because I know some of, well, not just some of you, but I know that from high school. When I was telling them about, look, I'm gonna build this thing with, it's called it's a filter for ions, and yeah, I had it at Aquapella at the time, which stayed. I know they a lot of them were laughing at me. And it's okay. It's okay because I don't have that much credibility. That could all change in the course of 48 hours. Then people may be like, why? Because not every day do you go from being poor to being broke to then getting a couple of millionaires to say, I like you. I'm going to invest in your ass. Cool. There is one thing that I would like to share with you guys. However, I think I'm going to wait until after I get a response because there's this, I guess, it's not a formula. Like, well, I mean, I guess you'd call it a formula. Although I can get myself because there's no point. The fuck, I ain't gonna be remembered. It doesn't matter. So just enjoy building, have fun. But it's basically three pieces, and it is what I believe to resemble any development of a skill that can lead to success. And if and it goes well, I will share it because now I have proof. I have authority on to speak at least on this because it is what I believe resembles 2.5 years of me committing to thing, which is aerogels, and seeing how it can be used in the future and building upon. I think that's also another thing of why I get to this point and I know I am this is being a dick. Or I'm a dick because I put this time limit on. But the two main things that I believe have allowed me to get this far, 2.5 years, despite kind of effing it up in my classes in 11th and 12th grade, and about shedding a lot of friends. By the way, shedding friends is if you're not shedding friends, you're not growing. Because I only have the numbers of two people from my childhood, and I don't even really talk to them that much. But they still give me flashbacks, so that's okay. It's okay. But what I believe has allowed me to get this far is just, I would say, commitment. There's a word that uh impulse control. I can stick to one thing despite having a shitload of people telling me to, hey, take it easy, boy, or bro, or like somebody saying like, you're too young, you ain't gonna hit it. Well, fuck you. I made it to this point, and if I get it in 48 hours, I'll tell you the words that I'm gonna tell you. But after, because I cannot talk the talk if I haven't finished walking the walk. But this video is just for me to get some of the stress out of my head. So yes, impulse control is one thing, and then I would say I wasn't lazy. I showed up every even if it was just reading one research paper, being out of it. I would do some shit, read it, or try and do something. Then I would summarize it, talk about what I just did, then do more, which is the Papella series. Trying to summarize everything so that everything is stored in one place. So when it's time to go and build the thing I want to do, I have everything that I need to do. Everything has been documented for public because I know that the process cannot be taught, but documenting what at least must be done will help someone. It's like I cannot share what's going on in my head. I can't like I can't share the entire blueprint, but I can share like certain pieces of it. That's kind of the reason why I say these things. And yeah, laziness was one. And oh, yes, okay, yes, I was a bit arrogant. I mean, you do need a little bit of arrogance. I will tell you that. You need the ability to be a little bit arrogant and say, yeah, like fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. I can do it. That's what I'm doing right now. But you also need the humility to say, look, I'm an idiot. Teach me. Kind of like that. But you definitely need to have more humility than arrogance. I feel like there's a certain levels of arrogance that can be earned. Like everyone's broke, but you know, what am I to say? But if I don't, let's say my school teacher said, "Oh yeah, you guys are all broke." I don't know, you know, that's in the year, Miss or Mister. So it's just low arrogance. Just be low arrogant. Know when to shut your mouth. And I know I'm keeping my mouth shut because I'm going to talk about the things that I believe are to be true until something comes out of this. But it just hurts that it's not that it's boring, although yes, like most of the things that I've done for the past 10 months have just become routine. But I feel like the reason why people will never get far, like not like just like this in general, like like this is like step zero. But most people don't even get past step zero because they kind of know what the price to pay for a certain success is, and they won't pay that, so they don't do it. There's no like magic secret that people are hiding from you. It's just that you to believe it. Like it's like flat Earth. Like Earth isn't flat. Like that's not a secret. It's just that the people who think that Earth is flat refuse to believe it. And one thing that I've learned from this point, without a grant or not, is there's a price to pay for a millionaire. You know what? I want you. I want to invest in your life. Like there's the price to pay for this, at least that I can say at the top of my head is it's gonna be boring. You're gonna shed some friends. May get a bit lonely. You got to persist. You need to establish a moral code. Know that the three most important assets are choice, attention, and other people. Lose the arrogance. Lose like 97% of it. Keep 3% for when you make it because you earned it. Don't be lazy, like the lazy ass you are right now. And have impulse control. I feel like those are because in this world, that's quick to switch up. I feel bad for because right now I do feel bad for the people who I didn't tell them, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to ghost you for 10 months. Hopefully, this is the end. I feel so bad. But it's for the greater good because when I get to the other side, I came from hell, rebirth. I am now 1/1000th of the man that I am because I made the switch that it's no longer a privilege, it's a duty. And the second that have beer, B, you can drop out of school because I don't know. The thing with school and with teachers is teacher is there so that the student surpasses the teacher. I told my dad is like, one day I'm going to surpass your income level and you because that's what I was meant to do. It's a duty for you to pass your predecessor, which is your parents, or your predecessor could be your teacher or your mentor. All right, and that's also what I kind of feel like I'm doing here. Is when it comes to deep tech and materials, I know that there are people out there. It's just that there wasn't. I don't know of a person who documented their shit while they did this. You know, I know Mary Curie have Mary Curie, and I don't have myself either. And hopefully, it doesn't have to be that way. I feel like there is somebody out there who has documented it. I'm not asking for a blueprint, but an idea of like, okay, what this is what like the next obstacles come from, so that I'm not running around in circles. Because if I hadn't cried in my mentor's house, who the fuck knows where I would have been. I can feel the tear reserves because yeah, 3 weeks ago was the hardest I've cried since a while. It hurts that it's years, but I don't remember crying tears of joy. I don't consciously remember that. Hopefully by tomorrow, I can say that for the first time, I will actually cry tears of joy. I, I'm not so sure because from life, anything can be taken away. Always, life. The only thing that's guaranteed is that you have free will, no matter how bad your situation is. I could be still living in Ehugla. Hey, I can sell gum or something. Yeah, sell gum. I still make a couple bucks. Like it's my choice. Just don't be an idiot. So for me, yeah, the only thing that I know for sure is I think is that we have free will, but it is our duty to to wield this weapon that we call choice. And I know that the choice of me getting the grant or not is not in my hands. So God, if you do exist, I could use some help. I'll update you guys in the next 4 to 8 hours. I really hope it happens. Creo que hoy será el día. Creo que mañana. Creo que mañana. Bye.